You are watching Kit Kabinet, and this is the inbox review of the Revell I-153 Chaika in 1/72 scale. The I-153 Chaika from Revell is actually blah 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 trademark of Revell Germany, made in Ukraine. This is the ICM kit in a Revell boxing. Let's have a look inside. Now this is a very small plane, especially in 1/72 scale, but what detail! Let's have a closer look. Yeah, the structure, the fabric wing structure is very subtle. We have some recessed panel lining here, and also the structure on the fuselage is very nice and subtle. The detail here is very crisp. This very nicely detailed scale model. These tiny rockets to scale with their launching rails here is a very nicely detailed kit. As I said, this is the ICM boxing. There's some very sparse detail here on the side walls of the cockpit. Here we have the second sprue. Yeah, equally nice detail. Have a nice choice of bombs and stars, and the rockets of course on the other sprue. And yeah, the engine looks okay. There's this this push rod thing that you have to put in front of it, but it's all going to go behind this plate. So that's a very detailed engine for a part that you won't be able to see very much of. So there, looking very good. Can you see the transparency? Very nice little clear windscreen. There's maybe a little bit here where the sprue connects to the windshield itself, but you have to take care that you won't damage the transparent part. So you have to be careful with that, because it looks very nice. And besides, the cockpit is open, so even though there's a tiny bit of distortion, you'll be able to see the inside of the cockpit anyway. So the decal sheet. Now what I noticed with the black box series of Revell is that they usually only contain one version to build, like this number 24. You don't have any other optional painting schemes, as we'll see in a minute. So these are all the decals that you get. They look very good. There's not much of stuff having to be in register. It's like plain red stars, just a number, and control panel decal. The instructions of these black box series, usually in full color, very nice booklets, much nicer than those leaflets that they usually cram into their blue box series. But these are nice full color booklets with tips on modeling, your color callouts, a sprue map, and even the building instructions are in full color. Looking very nice. Now this is a very small biplane. It has a lot of fiddly parts, so I wouldn't recommend this for a beginner, even though it says level 3, which is like more slightly advanced. But it can be a bit fiddly, and especially if you want to also install the bracing wires. And that's a thing that I don't see here, is that they don't have any instructions on attaching the bracing wires. So, and that's a bit of a shame. And also what I notice is that the cockpit, there's a very nice cockpit included, but there's also supposed to be a sort of cage built in, and this cage, this cockpit cage, is included on the sprues. Here are the parts, and you have to fit it on the cockpit floor here, but it's not shown in the instructions. So that's something that you'll have to take note of, like, hey, I still have some parts left. Where do they go? Well, these are in the cockpit, so hopefully you haven't glued up your cockpit yet, because there's still a couple of parts that need to go there. So this is a bit of a, yeah, this is a bit of a mess up from Revell here. But luckily, if you watch this video, you'll know about it. Now, like I said, there's only one painting scheme included, or decals for one painting scheme. So this is the one that you get, the Y-24, and it looks very nice, very colorful with the black and green. Although I would recommend, instead of using black, use pure black, to use their anthracite. It's number, I think number 9 in their paint series. It's a little bit grayish, and it makes the contrast less stark. Yeah, it gives a more subtle contrast, in my opinion. So if you want this biplane, just get it. It's a very good kit.